Alive Child, Dead Child. Eilish Phillips, 1192.
Victoria Summerall, 1238. Catherine Taylor, 1241.
Jessica Wilkins, 1431.
Imaginary friends and companions are a psychological disorder where a friendship takes place in the imagination rather than in reality.
They have carefully developed behaviours and personalities.
They may seem real to their creators, however unreal they may seem to others.
Imaginary friends are made often in childhood and sometimes continue with us as we grow.
They serve as a protection when played with by a child.
They reveal our anxieties,
Fears.
Goals.
And perceptions from inside. Although imaginary friends are supposed to fade away during the school years,
Benji never did.
And she never will.
when you're a child and you don't get any love,
well, there is no love. But you get this feeling inside that you can't explain.
When you get this feeling inside, but you can't explain,
You don't know what it is. You can't say it's a lack of love.
Because you don't have those words!
only the feeling.
But you don't have those words. Those words that say,
nobody loves me.
I am unloved.
And the feeling is an empty feeling.
You feel this hole in your stomach that you can't explain.
Because you don't have those words.
Only the feeling. The empty feeling.
You feel trapped in your feelings.
trapped in your feelings of hurt, frustration, and lack of love. Clean house, tidy house, spotless, nothing out of place.
Except me.
I can't seem to please them.
I can't win for losing.
My mother despaired of me.
I despaired of me.
I cried.
I would cry.
I would cry.
And I failed.
Always failed.
Clumsy.
I was clumsy.
Knocked things.
Broke things.
A clumsy child.
Always falling over.
Breaking things.
Trying to avoid running into things.
Swerving round things. Trying not to be clumsy.
Trying to walk through the gap in the door frame instead of into the door frame.
Trying to stop my body moving before it is too late. It was always too late.
I was a clumsy child. Clumsy. Never a day would go by that I wasn't walking into things.
Banging and crashing on my way about the house.
It worried me.
It drove my parents mad.
Fidgeting was another habit I couldn't seem to shake off. It annoyed my parents intensely.
Once, my dad got so mad about it, he tied me down
My
with
dad was so mad,
for a while.
he tied me down with
My dad was so mad about it, he tied me down with
Strangely, it didn't stop me feeling fidgety. It just stopped me being fidgety.
And the cupboard under the stairs! I was not abused. Never what you called an abused child.
Not abused. Not by any stretch of imagination.
There was the cupboard.
The cupboard under the stairs! Dark, silent, claustrophobic!
Nothing to do, nothing to say, nothing to be but lifeless, invisible.
Nowhere! Nothing!
Sitting in the cupboard till I learned to behave myself and show some respect.
Dark, silent, claustrophobic! Dark, silent, claustrophobic! Dark, silent, claustrophobic! I was not abused. Not what you call an abused child. Not abused. Everything I got, I deserved. Except the cupboard! The cupboard under the stairs! I never locked anyone under there! My parents did. I remember we moved to London when I was 8, and I went to stay with these friends of my parents for a while. Probably to get me out of the way while they were moving in. Anyway, these friends of my parents had a son called Andrew. When no one was around, he used to punch me and pinch me. Ah! I remember asking my mother how far London was away. She said it was 100 miles. I was worried about it. Staying with these friends and parents and Andrew, 100 miles is a long way to run when you're 8. remember being very relieved that there wasn't a cupboard under the stairs in our new flat in London. But then I found out there was a broom cupboard that was much, much smaller. You want to hit out because it's lack of love that you can't explain. So you hit out because of this lack of love. Hit out the people around you, the adults around you. Because when you're a child, the adults have the power. The adults have the power. So they know everything. And they know everything, so they can explain feelings. Adults can explain feelings. Adults have the power to explain feelings! Do you know what you were feeling? So you hit out. You hit out because they won't help you. These empty feelings. These feelings inside that they won't help with. These empty feelings that hurt, but you can't explain. This hurt and frustration because you can't explain. So you stop trusting the adults.
My invisible friend, a voice in my head. I could talk to her.
I played with her.
We understood each other. She was reliable. She came, I think, when I was about 4 or 5.
Or maybe earlier. Who knows?
But by the age of 7, she was with me all day, chattering away, making jokes,
Telling stories.
poking fun at family and visitors, making me laugh at all times.
At lonely times, good times.
Boring times, embarrassing
And
times.
awkward times. And when I giggled,
My parents wondered about me.
And punish me for being bad-mannered.
impolite or stupid. I didn't give my invisible friend a name till I was 8. Benji. I called her Benji.
Never Ben.
Only Benji. I don't know why. Don't know why she was a girl either. She just was. She was nameless until we moved to London. I hated London!
I hated the school I had to go to because they beat me up because I talked funny.
I hated the flat we moved to because it was a lot smaller and so was the cupboard. And I hated the street where we lived because they're all stuck up and snobby. When I get angry, I get angry! And I have to run. I can't stop. Just have to run and sit in my place.
My place was a narrow gap between the shed and the fence where nobody thought of looking.
My invisible friend. The voice in my head.
We played with each other.
We understood each other.
She was reliable. She threatened to leave. She said she'd go.
I was only 8. I didn't know what was happening.
It was beginning
I was just scared at that point. Of loneliness.
of immediate loneliness.
I didn't know what was happening.
What was beginning?
What was going to happen?
At the starting point.
That's when
I began to lose control.
I put a brick through the window after making sure first that my father was still out and my mother was still engrossed in the hoovering. After I'd thrown the brick, I heard the glass shatter and I ran back to my place. I sat there for 5 or 10 minutes, seeing if the sky would fall. Or worse, my father would appear, but it didn't, and he didn't. And nobody shouted or said anything, even though I'd done a wrong thing.
And not just that, but I felt triumphant and giggled uncontrollably for ages. And my imaginary friend giggled uncontrollably too. She said she had loads of funny ideas to do in the future.
I wasn't so sure and asked her if they were wrong things, but she just giggled and said...
Wait and see.
So it was then that I decided that my invisible friend was really, when all was said and done,
A monster! A horror! And a terror!
and I called her Benji.
My parents had always known about my invisible friend, but she sat next to me at the dinner table. Occasionally, through me, she'd ask them a question. Mum, Benji said, can we go to the park after dinner?
Tell Benji she's not allowed.
By the time I was 8, Anna called her Benji. They were telling me I was too old for imaginary friends.
Stupid!
Benji was still there. I could hear her. I could feel her. She talked to me. We played together. We did things together. Little things, easy things. And so what if that ornament got broken? It just sat there anyway. It didn't do anything. And if they asked me, well, I don't know, it wasn't me. I was nowhere near it. And what money? I don't know anything about any money. And so what if my sister lost a charm bracelet? It was a horrible charm bracelet. Me rattled! Anyway, I don't know. Maybe she just dropped it somewhere. Maybe it just fell off, I don't know. we got away with it for a long time. Mostly because Benji, she was a good liar and she would tell me what to say if anyone asked. One day, my mother said,
You just broke that picture.
What?
You just broke it.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I saw you.
It was an accident.
No, it wasn't. I saw you.
No, it was an accident.
You picked it up and threw it on the floor.
No, I didn't.
I just saw you.
It was an accident.
I saw you.
Benji did it.
it was Benji!
That's so stupid.
Truth.
She did.
Well, you stopped that Benji stuff. It was you.
No, it was Benji.
Look, it was you. Now just stop it. You're too old for all that rubbish.
She did.
I was too old for imaginary friends. But Benji, she was still with me. And even so I got the blame and the comment for telling lies. And so it started, slowly. A little bit more at a time. A little bit more each day. Moving further and further away. Making it more difficult to understand each other. Making it more difficult to try. They were far away from me. Parents, teachers, everybody. But Benji and I, we were on this side.
You build a wall of anger, mistrust, and hatred.
And you build a wall because they wouldn't help you.
You hate these adults because it made you build this wall.
And they made you build a wall because they wouldn't help.
So you hit out. You hit out because they made you build this wall. And you hate these adults because of this wall that you built.
And the wall gets stronger as your anger grows. And your anger grows to where it comes.
Further and further away. No understanding, no communication, just me and Benji in our own little world and the rest of them in theirs. Miles apart, and no bridges.
In the evening they get a phone call. They're asked to go to my school, but they don't know why. Just, they have to discuss me.
Aren't you be discussed?
They have to go discuss me. They asked me why.
Why?
I said, I don't know, because I didn't, really. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm aware that they're looking at me with hatred! All night. It was a long night. I'm awake, or sort of awake. Or something. I don't know what's happening. I don't. Benji won't shut up. Won't stop talking. Stop telling me my dad's going to kill me when he finds out.
Unless you kill him
Eye for an
first.
eye.
He's going to kill you when he finds out. Unless you kill him first. Eye for an eye. He's going to kill you when he finds out. Unless you kill him
And Benji telling me over and over.
Unless you kill him first. Unless you kill him first.
Remember when you kicked your sister, how he kicked you? Remember when he threw stones at those boys and he threw stones at you? Remember when he broke the window of his car and he broke all your toys?
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Remember. Remember when you smashed the radio and he smashed your record player? Remember when you wrecked the living room and he wrecked your bedroom?
I never did those things! I never did them!
It was Benji! I don't know what's happening! And the cupboard after! The cupboard.
He's going to kill you when he finds out.
See how you like it!
I didn't do anything.
It was you!
You threw it! It was you!
You did it! Well, they won't believe you though, will they?
They never did.
They never did.
You threw the hammer.
What's he going to do about it?
Think about it.
What's he going to do?
Can't think. Shut up, please.
Leave me alone!
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You threw the hammer.
What's he going to do?
Think about it.
He's gonna kill you when he finds out.
He's going to kill you.
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Remember?
And then the cupboard.
What's he going to do now?
He's gonna kill you now. That's what.
Unless you kill him first.
Unless you do it
To
first.
save
To
yourself.
defend yourself.
Eye for an eye,
Defend yourself.
tooth for a tooth. When he finds out.
What's he going to do?
He's gonna kill you.
When he finds out,
You'll die! He'll kill you!
All night. It was a long night, and I don't know what's happening. I can't sleep all night. And Benji won't shut up. And then it's dawn.
And then I'm in their bedroom. And I have the hammer. I don't understand. And then I hit him. I hit him. And I don't understand what's going on. And then he wakes up! He wakes up!
He woke up.
I hit him. I caught him on the head and he woke up. It woke him. It hurt.
I dropped the hammer. I turned and left the room, left the flat. I went travelling. Benji took me travelling. We went miles.
I don't know where we went. We just travelled and police picked me up.
My mum fetched me.
After the police had phoned.
It was late. They found me wandering. I was just travelling, just jaunting.
Benji took me, we just went. And then my mum picked me up.
Collected me from the police station and brought me home. And then I knew that I'd be in the cupboard all night.
And it didn't matter.
Insane!
Lunacy! Loony! Mad!
I didn't know anything about psychiatrists.
Or mental health.
Or anything except what I heard.
And read.
And watched on TV. Deranged.
Psychopath.
Psycho.
And then I had to see one.
I had to see a psychiatrist.
Not for hitting my dad.
But for hitting myself.
Lunatic.
Mad.
Crazy! It was mad. Totally out of hand. I didn't know what else to do, really.
I was under virtual house arrest at home. It was balmy.
I'd been suspended from school for 2 weeks because Mr. Kent and the headmaster
Couldn't take a joke! Well, no, it wasn't very funny. No, really, it was very dangerous.
But he'd asked for it.
Anyway, my parents decided to keep an eye on me.
I think basically they were scared stiff of me!
We should have talked about it. Someone should have said something, done something, anything. I was feeling terrible about it. I didn't know what to do, how to apologise. Nothing happened. Nobody said a word, nobody did a thing. They just watched me. Kept me in the house. Hardly spoke a word to me, watched me and locked my bedroom door at night. What could I do? How could I explain? It was mad! It was driving me mad! And Benji! I had to cut off Benji. I could feel her bubbling under all the time for attention. I knew she'd explode soon if something didn't happen. She couldn't bear it. I couldn't bear it. It couldn't go on like that. My parents tiptoeing around not knowing what to do with me. It scared me. My dad's sitting there with a big purple bruise in his head as if nothing had happened. Benji inside me. Bubbly. Beginning to get restless. Starting to rage about the atmosphere. Couldn't go on like that. Someone had to do something. Someone had to do something more Benji did. So I did. I did something. I did what they wanted to do. I did what my dad should have done. Get it out of the way, get it over with. Clear the air. Make amends. Even the scorch an eye for eye, tooth for tooth. I hit myself with the hammer. That made something happen. Made something say something, do something. They sent me to a psychiatrist.
Lunatic!
Was scared.
I was scared then. Because the psychiatrist was asking me questions and talking to me, making complete sense. I could see what he was getting at. And I thought, I'm not going to answer any of his questions, because then he'll find out I'm a loony.
He asked about the hammer, and I got scared then. He said, first you tried to hammer the woodwork teacher, then you hammered your father, and then you hammered yourself.
I wanted to explain that it wasn't how it sounded. And I wanted to explain that it was a 1, 2, 3, hammer, hammer, hammer! Like he was saying it like it was a hammer murder on the rampage. I wanted to explain that it wasn't like that. But then he said,
Why did you choose a hammer?
I had to tell him over and over.
I didn't choose a hammer.
I never chose a hammer.
It wasn't I chose a hammer.
I was getting scared.
We went to the psychiatrist and we all went to family therapy and my parents talked and I said nothing. And whenever they asked me a question, I said, I don't know. And I sat in those sessions like I sat in the cupboard just waiting for time to go round.
And the weeks passed and the time went round.
And my parents slowly stopped pressing me.
And my parents slowly stopped getting at me.
And my parents slowly stopped nagging and criticising me.
And my parents slowly stopped punishing me.
And my parents slowly stopped. And they time went round, you become aware of this lack of love.
This lack of love you felt as a child.
You are aware of this lack of love as a child. And the anger grows because you're aware of the lack of love.
And the war gets stronger and the anger grows and the anger grows and the war gets stronger. You are aware of the lack of love. And the war gets stronger and the anger grows. You are aware of the adult power. You're aware of the adult power and the lack of love. And the anger grows and the war gets stronger. Because frustration comes.
I was 17.
I was sectioned. Mental hospitals aren't that bad. Not bad at all. Quite nice, really.
I was there for 6 weeks and they gave me some drugs to calm me down and I did calm down and I got a group of Benji and felt a lot better.
Everybody was very nice and friendly and said that if I had a problem, they could always talk to them about it.
Which was very nice of them. It's very kind. There's a lot of people I could go to if I had a problem.
But I kept quiet and I got a grip of myself and Benji and I felt better.
And then out with a promise.
To keep taking the medication
Go to outpatients.
and to this gardening job.
And stay in the hostel.
It was decided I should live in a hostel, but be independent.
But have help.
Close by, if required. Somebody there,
If I needed them.
if I had a problem.
If I had another breakdown.
I lived with them for 2 years. Benji, she was still there, in the background at first because of the drugs, but as I slowly felt better, more secure.
Less in need.
Full security!
I stopped taking them. Thought I could manage without them. So Benji got stronger, more prominent, more up front.
Friendly though. She was friendly for weeks, very popular, no trouble.
Full security! Something went wrong. Somebody did or said something wrong or something like that. But then she started flying off, sounding off,